The sheriff's truck screeched to a halt just shy of my cabin porch, its red and blue lights tearing through the tranquil dusk, staining the calm waters of Willow Lake with chaos. Birds fled the dock in a frantic flurry, and my dog, Scout, growled low, anchoring himself beside my rocking chair. 3 officers stepped out, hands twitching near their holsters. One raised a megaphone, his voice slicing the evening. "Sir, step off the property. We've got to report you're trespassing on land listed for sale." I froze, coffee mug stalled midair. Trespassing? On my own damn land. There, behind the officers, stood Patricia Vance, HOA president, in her crisp khakis and windbreaker, pointing at my cabin like she'd caught a thief red-handed. "I told them you're a squatter," she sneered, loud enough for the lake to hear, her smirk sharp as a blade. "This cabin's listed under the HOA's emergency foreclosure clause. You're not the owner." I pulled a folded deed from my back pocket. "I am the owner, and I've got proof." The officers traded glances, one stepping forward, but Patricia snatched the deed, tore it in two, and flung it toward the lake. That's when something in me cracked, not hot fury, but a cold, razor-sharp resolve. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I locked eyes with her and said, "I'm buying your house next week." Her smirk vanished. "My what?" I didn't reply. I called my realtor right there, cops watching, and set the wheels in motion. To grasp how it came to this, you need to know what led up to that night: the kindness I offered, the red flags I ignored, and the woman who thought she could steal what I'd built with my own hands. My name's Daniel Holt, 56, a retired welder and Navy vet. 12 years ago, I bought this ranch on the edge of Willow Lake, escaping the city's grind. Every fence, every plank of this cabin, I crafted myself, pouring my soul into this land. It's just me, Scout, and the peace I fought for. Then the HOA crept in. I didn't sign up for their gated nonsense, no perfect lawns or tennis courts for me. My ranch was private, fenced, with its own lake access. But 3 years back, a development turned the land south of my ranch into Pinecrest, an HOA neighborhood with fancy signs and petty rules. I kept to myself, boundaries clear, gate locked. Then Patricia Vance arrived from Arizona, the new HOA president, acting like she ruled the lake. It began with a flyer in my mailbox. "Let's beautify our shared spaces." Shared? My land was mine. Then came tire tracks on my trail, trash by my dock. My cameras caught her cousin fishing like it was a public pier, her brother throwing bonfires with beer cans littering my shore. When I asked them to leave, they laughed. Patricia said it's community property. I marched to her door with my deed, survey maps, boots caked in mud. She smiled, promised to clear up the misunderstanding, but the trespassing worsened. Then came a letter from Pinecrest HOA, claiming my cabin was under review for public reassignment due to lakefront safety violations. I stormed their meeting, waving their letter. "I'm not in your HOA," I said. "You've got no power here." Patricia stood, cool as venom. "The lake's lines are fluid, Mr. Holt. You don't own the water." I jabbed my deed. "But I own the land under it." They argued. I roared, and I left, vowing legal action. It stopped for a bit. Then, after a trip to see my sister in Montana, I found a Pinecrest for sale sign on my cabin, listing Patricia's cousin as the agent. I ripped it out, ready to call my lawyer, when an ATV roared up. It was Patricia, clipboard in hand, claiming my land was HOA property due to abandonment. I laughed in her face. "Get off my land." She left, snapping a photo of my cabin. That night, the sheriff arrived. But Patricia underestimated me. Push a man who's built his life from scratch, and he'll dismantle your world. Next morning, I drove to town, Scout pacing by the door like he sensed trouble. No coffee, just my hat, boots, and a laminated deed. Always keep a backup. In Willow Creek, where everyone knows everyone, I went to my lawyer, Henry Blake, a suspenders-clad man with a mustache like an old-time sheriff. I slapped the torn deed and HOA letter on his desk. "They're selling my cabin." Henry whistled. Bold or dumb? Probably both. He floated a wild idea. Buy Patricia's house, which sat on the only easement into Pinecrest. Control the road, win the war. That afternoon, fate intervened. At a diner, I saw a young woman crying. Emma, Patricia's niece. Kicked out after her divorce, her stuff dumped in the driveway. "She's selling the house," Emma said. Needs fast cash for some Arizona resort. I grinned. Tell her I'll double the offer. Emma's jaw dropped when I showed her the sign from my cabin. You're her nightmare now, she said. Henry drafted a cash offer through a shell company. Patricia signed, clueless. Days later, I owned her house and the easement. I built a gate on the road iron, key padlocked. Patricia's lawyer demanded I remove it, but I handed him my deed and permits. This road's mine. Patricia hissed. You're punishing me. I stared her down. You trespassed, lied, tore my deed, and tried to sell my home. Don't cry foul now. The HOA protested, waving free our road signs, whining about longer drives and delayed packages. I pointed to the detour I'd built, per their rules. Not my problem. Then it turned ugly. An anonymous letter arrived. You'll regret this. Next morning, my generator was smashed, fuel lines cut, wires scattered. Scout growled, circling the barn. Sheriff Carter came, took photos, bagged the letter. No prints, no cameras, he said. This is personal. I added hidden cameras, motion lights. Patricia thought this was about HOA pride, but for me, it was my legacy. Every nail, every plank, my piece. Then Henry called. Patricia filed an injunction, claiming emotional distress and property manipulation. She's drowning you in paperwork, he said. We countersued for defamation, citing the vandalism. But it escalated. Someone poured concrete in my cabin's lock, cracked a window, scrawled, "Get out, old man," on my fridge. Emma called, whispering, Patricia's hired shady guys. Said she'll make you disappear. My pulse raced. I slept in the barn, Scout by my side. At 2 a.m., a truck crept down my road, lights off. I hit the floodlights. It fled. Then a state agency claimed I was polluting the lake, filed by Pinecrest and Greenleaf Property Group, a developer Patricia partnered with to access my lake for a failed project. My purchase of her house cost them millions. Then my barn burned at sunrise, flames swallowing tools, lumber, my dad's canoe. Sheriff Carter confirmed arson. I showed him Emma's video of Patricia yelling, "Burn it down." He nodded. This'll get her charged. I took everything: deeds, vandalism reports, Greenleaf's shady deals, the video to the Willow Creek Gazette. Next day, the headline roared, HOA president and developer exposed in arson plot. The video went viral, captioned Patricia's meltdown. Patricia was arrested trespassing, vandalism, inciting arson. Greenleaf's permits were frozen. They countersued for slander, but the judge tossed it when he saw the video. Donations flooded in, veterans, carpenters, even Pinecrest residents ashamed of Patricia. We rebuilt the barn, and I opened Scout's Landing, a Sunday dock for veterans and kids. Patricia served 6 months, fled the state. Greenleaf lost their license. Now I sit on my porch, coffee in hand, watching the lake's calm return. Neighbors honk, strangers stop to say, "You're the guy who fought back." I'm Daniel Holt, the man they tried to erase. I built truth, stronger than any fence. Have you faced a bully like Patricia? What would you do in my boots? Share this with anyone who stood their ground.